complex and diverse system of American fortifications stretches across the United States, from Massachusetts to California, and from Alaska to Puerto Rico. These sites tell stories of protection and strength, of struggle and perseverance, and of resilience and community. Today, we honor all U.S. fortifications as we share some of their most enduring stories. When we think of forts, we may immediately think of strength and protection. We think of the solid granite walls of Fort Knox, Maine, or those of Fort Adams in Rhode Island. While similar masonry forts scattered the landscape throughout the 19th century, advances in artillery technology during and after the Civil War played a critical role in making these forts obsolete. Learning from this, engineers and architects looked to historical strongholds solidified with mounds of dirt and sand. Some of these sites date back to original Spanish construction while others tell a story of colonial America and westward expansion. Their renovation and modernization over the centuries paint a rich history of technology, artillery, and engineering. But these structures are so much more than the walls and artillery they support. Forts not only served as strongholds of protection, but also as prisons, community trading posts, and bastions of hope and refuge. These sites hold stories of American memory, some uplifting and hopeful, and some devastatingly difficult. By sharing these stories, we can reflect on the lessons of the past, finding ways to connect with cultures, times, and places we may never have imagined. For many, these walls meant imprisonment, not protection. During the American Civil War, Fort Warren, Fort Delaware, and Castle Pinckney served as sites of confinement for soldiers, sailors, and political prisoners. 18th and 19th century conflicts between Native American tribes and various government and colonizing groups led to the imprisonment of many tribal members in sites such as Fort Marion, known today as the Castillo de San Marcos, Fort Bowie, Fort Pike, and Fort Sill. And in 1858, 318 victims of the illegal transatlantic slave trade awaited their fate inside the walls of Fort Sumter, while the slave ship's crew stood trial in Charleston. In this way, American forts are sites of conscience, creating spaces for reflection and possibly reconciliation. We also find stories of resilience, perseverance, and community between the brick and mortar. During a Revolutionary War battle, Sergeant William Jasper bravely recovered his regiment's felled flag and hoisted it high above Fort Sullivan, known today as Fort Moultrie. In 1837, during the Second Seminole War, tribal leader Cowacachi led a daring and inspiring escape from Fort Marion. Their escape was pivotal in shaping the rest of the war and the future of the tribe. Less than 1 year into the Civil War, the citizens of Boston cast aside cultural and political differences to send food and goods to the Confederate prisoners of Fort Warren when supplies were low. Throughout the war, Union-controlled areas became bastions of hope for enslaved African Americans. Stonemason Peter escaped with his wife to Fort Pickens. And pilot March Haynes led many freedom seekers to Fort Pulaski after its fall to Union forces. And during World War II, President Franklin D. Roosevelt established Fort Ontario as a refuge site for Holocaust victims, opening the door for later refugee groups. Whether you're looking for stories to inspire you, to astound you, or to humble you, you can find all of that and more in the history of American fortifications. These powerful places of memory connect us to our cultural, political, and technological past in complex and enriching ways. Take a virtual tour of a fort near you and learn more about their enduring stories. For now, stay safe, be well, and may the forts be with you.